Okay. Because I'm so bummed out about this, I'm going to summarize it on a recording. And don't mind the background of my siblings. Basically, I read this manhwa, Korean comic, I believe, called Night Underheart. That shit changed me, bro. Absolutely changed me. Don't know the author. Whatever. All I know, that shit changed me. It starts off boring, normal as hell. You got this wimp. You know, he goes to school. He does normal stuff. Obviously, there's emptiness in his life. But the prologue hit me different. Guy dies over and over again. And he's like, this time I'll fight. And I'm like, ooh, this kind of looks cool. Hopefully, it's not a power fantasy. Oh, it's not a power fantasy. So, well, even if it becomes a power fantasy later on, this motherfucker deserves it. And let me get to the point. So then he goes into the simulation after being like the prototype simulation and as a beta tester. And he's like, oh, this simulation is pretty cool. Until he goes into the simulation. And this guy literally gets popped up. He's in a war. A fucking war. And he's like, hoo, I can't wait to order these guys around to kick ass. But this simulation, ultra realistic. Ain't no health bars. Ain't no system. Ain't no icons. Nothing that could tell you this is not real. Other than everyone dressed up as medieval shit. So he's like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm like, brother, this guy's so done. And the guys who's fucking with him, the managers, are like, okay, full pain inhibitors because we want this shit to be realistic and seeing if someone could unlock a crazy power later. But he doesn't know that until he dies first. This motherfucker, like, was acting like a coward for like 5 times, and he dies with pain and suffering. Then he dies a few more times. Then he dies a lot. And I think his 8th one, or maybe like 10th one, he's like, I'm not gonna run away anymore. I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna fucking kill some people with me. So he does that for like 20 more tries. And then he realizes there's only one person for him that has loyalty, okay? Loyalty to him. Everyone else runs like cowards and shit. He doesn't know why. He doesn't care because he's literally dying each time he even looks back for a millisecond. But a girl that allows him to look back a millisecond, the girl has no name. She defends him. She is waifu material, loyalty above. This girl is with him the whole time. Okay? And she dies every time in front of him. He's starting to do it more and more over because she always protects him. And he realizes she's trying to say something. I want. And he tries to figure out what she's trying to say. So it takes him 20 more lives to figure out she said, I want to protect you. And he's like, it's so simple. But like, why? Everyone else is running away like cowards. I'm even running away from myself sometimes. Why is she trying to protect me? And then she's like, just cuz. And it's like, gives him a speech like, to never give up. That shit hit. I know that I'm summarizing this way too fast. And honestly, half this is gonna slip past y'all mind. But that shit hit. And I think I need another thing to mention. Each of the battle scenes aren't good, per se, battle scenes. They aren't easily readable. Maybe because I was speed reading. But I digress. I think they're actually made to be like that. Because they show, like, the sword movement. But they don't show the whole body moving. You feel me? It's either a way to, like, save frames or something. But I feel like it's a much more profound meaning. Okay? They show less of the action. And they take away the fantasy, like you see in like manhwas or Chinese comics, where it's like 7 sword, fold sword technique, and you see glitter and stuff. They take away all that. All you see is a sword moving with some color, at most blue, red, and a guy getting his head chopped off. In his battle where he finally unlocks his special power called Terra, he protects her, and then she protects him. But then the fucking game devs were like, this guy's enjoying this entirely too much. He's about to actually beat this game. I want to trap this motherfucker forever so he can never escape. And if he escapes out of the simulation and actually finish the simulation, he's going to report us. So we got to keep this guy in the simulation. And the only way they do that is to make sure he has no help. So they remove the girl out the game by putting her in a coma. And he's like, I have to win in order to get this girl out of the coma because some magic bullshit. So Oh my god, I'm summarizing this so fast, and it's much. Give it a read. 900 height. Give it a read. Spoiler warning. A little late for that, but like he keeps on suffering, my guy, and feeling pain. And you would think, oh, well, he doesn't actually die. He just dies and keeps on coming back and coming back and coming back. This guy fights, okay? He fucks. He doesn't just come back and just kill a bunch of people and become invincible. This guy, even though he has the power of this Terra thing, where it's basically like fucking Getsu Tensho, where it shoots giant laser beams and shit, he dies. Like you could still stab him with a spear. So it makes sense why the other guy, the other general that used to use Terra, fucks him over. And I love the character development of this guy. He used to be such a pushback. He used to be such a coward. Now he's like a fucking boss. He's like an edgelord that's not an edgelord. But he's kind of an edgelord. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna tell you why I can't read manga anymore. Because after reading this, I'm like, how much did the protagonist suffer to get his powers? Because there's a lot of goofy novels where it's like, oh, this guy gets a free system. Oh, this guy gets a free system. Oh, this guy gets a system after being bullied. Bullied! How about you go die 142 times and then come back? That's basically my idea. But I guess suffering is subjective in amount or whatnot. And no suffering should be higher than other. But I feel like his is pretty high. A little bit too high. Like, even though I'm like, those immortals who's like, oh, I got betrayed by all my friends. Where? Did you die 142 times? Feeling despair and knowing that you had... Like, he didn't know he was growing over time until, like, after 40 lives. He was like, wait a minute, my sword is getting lighter. And I'm feeling it. Like, he didn't know there was, like, a progression system. There was no thing to tell him he was leveling up. There was no thing that said, good job, you accomplished this. No, he's just like, I think this sword is getting lighter, and I think I'm using it better. So, to close up, this read, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm sorry for not, like, updating and stuff. Animating is a pain in the ass, and school is a pain in the ass. And, see you in the next video.